Hello, and welcome to Audio Heads. It's our 100th episode. Woo! We are reviewing today Stargate SG-1, and the audio adventure is called Half-Life, and it is written by James Swallow, and it is directed by Lisa Bowerman, one of our faves, and Jason Haig-Ellery directed part of it, and music by Stephen Foxen, and we will talk about all of that. And with me is Lee and returning Audio Heads, or I don't know. It's been a while since we've seen him on Audio Heads, but Craig is here, looking like a system lord. Anyway, we should review this today, so let's get into it. Opening thoughts, Lord Craig. What are your opening thoughts, Lord Craig?
Okay, so if you're thinking this is Half-Life on the PC game, then it's not, but it is Half-Life from Big Finish audio. And it sees the return of Michael Shanks as Daniel Jackson and Claudia Black's lovable rogue Vala. What can I say? I mean, I love Stargate and Stargate World and the spin-offs and things, but I did struggle with this one, but I think I struggled with it because it wasn't a big production. It was a very small niche production. It makes me feel like, you know, when they do like Doctor Who audios and they give them away with the newspaper as a freebie type Big Finish. I feel like it was one of those. But it did what it says on the tin. I know this is a start of a trilogy, I get that. So they didn't want to reveal too much. However, I feel that what they revealed at the end, what they revealed halfway through could have been revealed at the end, and it would have made it more of a reveal, because I was sort of left feeling like, oh, well, I sort of know what's happened already, and I'm only halfway in sort of thing. But yeah, I had to listen to it a couple of times. As well. But yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of the movie and the spin-offs anyway, and the series. So it was nice, you know, to have a bit of nostalgia from the classic series as well. You know, and they did a good performance as well. So, but I mean, Daniel and Vala arrive back from the planet, and you know, and Daniel shoots Jack O'Neill, who unfortunately isn't in the cards, but that's, yeah, without revealing too many spoilers. That's my opening thoughts.
This is a few years old. There are no spoilers. Yeah. So don't worry about that. Let's go to Lee, please.
Right. We've reviewed Stargate the movie a few years ago. Reviewed an episode of Stargate SG-1 a few years ago. An episode of Stargate Atlantis maybe a year or so ago as well. And going through those reviews, there was only one I sort of liked, and that was Atlantis episode. That had a good storyline, and you know, it was quite an epic story. I'm not a big fan of Stargate, and this audio still doesn't make me a big fan, to be honest. The only good thing about this audio for me is Claudia Black. I don't even know what name of the character she plays. I know she was in the series for several seasons, but for me, I prefer Claudia Black when she was playing Aaron's son in Farscape. So a far rounded character, better character for me. Michael Shanks. Yeah, it's Michael Shanks. Look at Susan's face. But no, yeah, it was a. I agree with what Craig said about the reveal halfway through. It was, and also it's a simple story. It's somebody has been replaced with a clone. Shanks's character has been replaced with a clone who tries to assassinate O'Neill. As Craig says, the actor's not even in the audio. And that was it, really. And Claudia Black's character went off behind the general's back to find the real Daniel. And that's the story, really, isn't it? It's just it didn't go like that. I think it didn't go like that, but it was just all the way through. There was no ups. It's just a steady story. For me personally, it only took me one listen. One listen was enough for me. So, but as I say, this isn't going to really turn me into a overnight fan of Stargate, I'm afraid. Back to you, Susan.
Well, I don't know what to say to you about not being an overnight fan of Stargate. I
did like Atlantis. I did like the episodes, the Atlantis episodes.
I do know that, yeah, you did like Atlantis, but you don't have to like Stargate SG-1, I guess. I would make the argument that this is just a good science fiction story. It's about a clone of someone, and they go through the Stargate, and they have to they have to steal a spaceship to get to where they're going. So they steal a spaceship, and they find the System Lord Ball, played by Cliff Simon, reprising his role as Ball. He was in Stargate Continuum, and he was in the movies. He was in seasons 8, no, I think 6 through 10. I think he was in 4 seasons of Stargate SG-1, playing Ball, and he is irascible as usual. And Cliff Simon is a good old British actor, and let's see, and then there was Andrew Collins as Keto, who was in for a second, and Colonel Olson instead of Colonel O'Neill, instead of General O'Neill, because General O'Neill had been shot first thing. And then Dr. Ricks instead of Dr. Instead of the one played by Terrell Rothery. And then there was Alex Mattinson as a Jaffa. And I enjoyed making the story part of my night, and the way Michael plays 2 different versions of Dr. Jackson is fun to me. They were definitely different. One was pretty hopeful, and the other one had a lot less hope. And so with those things, I guess, were there any favorite moments? Let's go to Craig, because I don't want to lose him. let's go back to System Lord Craig. And what are your favorite moments or things you didn't like?
I like the bald hosts and the android aspect of it with the parallel worlds. I think I mean the acting is spot on, really. I mean I can't really fault the acting in it. You know, the performances. I mean, Val, she's good. She's her same usual self, and Daniel was always going to be her guardian. You know, rolling his eyes and things. Her mad ideas and stuff. But I think on a negative, I think the thing. I know it's a little bit of a niggling, but it's just the title music was really crap. I know there's copyright issues in that, but I think it's just a shame they can't have like a really good, nice orchestral theme tune to start it off and to finish it off with. It sounds like something from like Sky News or something when it starts up. Yeah, that's my only dislike of this audio.
Cool. And favorite moments or things that you didn't like? She asked Lee with a little trepidation.
As I say, the only thing I did like was Claudia Black. She's a brilliant actress. I didn't really like any of it, to be honest. I mean, it didn't. I mean, as I said, it was a steady story. It didn't drag, but there was no parts in it what went, oh, that was exciting, or it was just a steady line. There was no. It didn't get up to a crescendo and wow, nothing like that at all for me. It wasn't. It wasn't outstanding for me. And it's surprising because of Big Finish do a lot of damn good audios. I mean, good on them. Good on them. They got this. They got this range. I mean, this is how many years? Is it 5 years old or something like this? This range out there before they lost the license. So they were attracting the actors from the series, but which Big Finish always seem to do. But I don't know. This story just it's. I know the story seems to have been done before. It's one of those run-of-the-mill sci-fi stories. What's been told 150 times before. Someone's been cloned. Someone's going to try and find the real person. Yeah, that's it. Really, I can't really say anything else about it. Nice cover.
Wow.
Apart
the only thing you could like is
apart from Michael Shanks being on the front, it should have been Claudia at the front, I think.
Jeez.
It was her story.
Well, it was hers and Baal's story, but Baal, the story of Baal is a story of clones. He cloned himself probably 50 to 100 times, and you could find him all over the cosmos. Just random encounters with Baal. He had a group of Hataks he would travel around with. So the cloning thing, when it turns out that it wasn't Mike, when it wasn't Daniel, you knew that it would that it could go the direction of going to Baal. And since this takes place between it's before Continuum, because in Continuum all of the Baal clones are rounded up and executed, and that's that's the end of the story. But the middle of the story is that he's trying to infiltrate the rest of the universe, and apparently he does that through his cloning thing. And I just, there's been a lot of stuff about the cloning stuff in the past couple of weeks in my science fiction world. There was the cloning of the Daleks in the new Doctor Who episode. But yeah, my favorite moments were the cloning and when they had to shut down Stargate Command to restart the Stargate so that they were able to dial out without the control being given to them. So that was fun, and stealing a spaceship was also great, and yeah. So I mean that's an old Star Trek trope because Kirk was never any good at following orders, and neither is Vala. So yeah, it's got some tropes, like Lee said, some standard stuff, but it was a good continuation of the story of Vala and the story of Vala. Vala is always in interesting company, you know. I really liked her story. I really liked the actress, and I liked Farscape, like Lee said. But the unrequited love thing between Daniel and Vala is explored slightly in this, and they spend a whole 60 years on that ship approaching the or leaving a black hole in the final one of the final shows with the Christmas episode of the whole series. And so they do have a good long life together eventually, as do all of them. Like the whole shebang. There's time travel and time dilation and stuff like that went on. It was good. Let me say this. I understand your concerns. I do get it. You know, it's not super thrilling by any stretch. It's not like a thrill a minute. Wow, look at that. But it is fun. It's fun. It's not super thrilling. So, and I didn't expect that I'd make you a Stargate fan, but I wanted to do one of these Stargate episodes because honestly they lost the copyright, and MGM is a son of a bitch, and they are not allowing it's just such a they're arm wrestling, and Baron at Baron Destructo, Joseph Malozzi is trying to get the rights back to Stargate Universe, and he's connected with MGM a bunch of times because he produced Stargate Universe in the earlier, and he just like to actually just take the rights away from MGM to give it new life again. And you know, he always said that he would be willing to give it back to Big Finish. And I think that that's probably one of the negotiations that is going on. I did happen to ask Nicholas Briggs and Jason Hay-Gallery at Gallifrey One if they were in negotiations, and they said they were in negotiations about the Stargate franchise. And so, you know, it's near and dear to my heart, but I'm not holding my breath. Anyway, glad we did it. This is a treat for me, even if it's not for the rest of you. But I am glad that we did it. So I would like to know what your final say and score is, please, unless you'd like to talk some more about it, if there is anything.
I mean, at least you admit that it's not a thriller minute. It's not. It's just, as I said, it's just a steady story.
Yep.
And you know, one listen and you think, all right, then, okay, but I won't listen to that one again, sort of thing. Yeah, the story's okay, the cloning thing, but I will say this: I will give you, Susan, 10 out of 10 for trying to convert me every time you suggest a Stargate thing to do. Keep at me. You may succeed one day. Keep at it. You'll. Yeah, there you go.
Can I say, Susan, you're so eloquent, and you're like a fountain of knowledge, and take my hat off to you for all the podcasts that you've done and the audio dramas, and it's really, really cool.
Thanks.
To have you.
Thanks, both of you. So what would you give? What would you give the story?
A 1. No, I'm joking. I'll give it because for anyone who, I mean, the next one was called An Eye for an Eye, and she's actually on the front cover this time. Well, she is on the front cover on the last one, but this time she's more prominent as the main protagonist in this one. Yeah, and it does go into the cloning in the second one as well. I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
All right. And Lee, what would you give this out of 10?
It's a middle of the road drama. As I say, a steady drama. So being a middle of the road drama, a 5.
Okay.
There you go.
That's I guess what I expect. And I will give this I'll give this an 8.5 out of 10. Because it tells a future story. It continues Ball's story, it continues Dr. Jackson's story, and it continues Val Mal Doran's story. And I'm grateful for Lisa Bowerman's direction. I like how she had them play different parts than they were. And Ball, she really captured Ball. Anyway, so big ups for her. Thank you for watching Audio Heads, our 100th episode. Sorry we didn't thrill you, but we're glad to do these, and we look forward to rejoining in a fortnight for another one of our fabulous episodes. Stay tuned this week. We're doing Soul, the Disney movie Soul, and what's the other one called?
Color Out of Space.
Color Out of Space, and it's got Nicolas Cage in it. And so we've got 2 reviews this weekend. Come back and watch those. We're going to be doing those and dancing through those, and also please subscribe to our channel, because I know that you tuned in for this just because of the Stargate. And so subscribe to our channel and hit the bell for a notification. And let's see. Let's engage all the chevrons and go through the Stargate. Because Gator's got a gate. Bye.